The most potent message New World Order conveys, it's its refusal to flinch in the face of what many would call fanaticism, training a focused, steady eye on the subjects without hastily making satisfying knee-jerk judgment. Through the tears, constant rallying, paranoid rants, and hypocritical disclaimers of their subjects, Meyer and Neal remind us that these conspiracy theories are not only to be pitied, are not to be pitied, but rather understood as people doing what they earnestly believe is their civic duty. They're rabid and frankly more than a little nuts. You know, I need to take these guys on, it looks like one by one, because we're more than a little nuts. I mean, give me a break. That's just, it's not only insulting, it's disgusting. Let's see. For example, in the impending apocalypse, red and blue dots on mail apparently determine whether you get taken to a FEMA camp or get shot on sight by stormtroopers. Listen, people have talked about the red and blue lists, which are actually real. No one's talking about their dots on their mail, but they're also determined and militantly organized group that dares you to ignore them. Every point of view can easily be accommodated by Meyer and Neal's sprawling footage. From the people that dismiss the group because they believe truthers want to simplify the reasons for 9/11 and President Bush's war on terror. Yeah, it really simplifies it that there's a government cabal out there willing to kill thousands of people only to kill millions of more in a war for profit and really hegemony. I mean, they're trying to build what is essentially a Eurasian Union out there. Let's see. After these theories, everything becomes simple, as one truther says. To all the people that insist that they're just misguided by the personal pain, they have no clue how real we are, says another, as tears well up in his eyes. Even people that want to believe they're uncovering some hidden reality buried in grainy, almost certainly photoshopped images and so-called eyewitness reports will find plenty of convincing ammunition in Jones's words. What are you talking about, certainly photoshopped images? Grainy, blurred, photoshopped images? What is, I mean, these people are, I mean, you wonder why I get driven a little bit nuts. What blurry photoshopped images have I ever alluded to? Have I ever shown? Oh, that's right. It's zero. It's none. It's nil. Everything that I've ever pointed to are actually real videos and real photographs and real eyewitness accounts. It's called reality. Yeah, I know. Reality is very tough for some people. They just like to pretend reality does not exist. And I know that sounds, you know, a bit brash, but it's true. They just want to deny reality. Photoshopped images. Jones is easily the most mercurial and intriguing figure of the bunch. One moment he rejects the idea of being pinned down as the spokesperson and hence the originator of the truth he propounds, but in another, he eagerly takes his place as the head of a mob and curses Geraldo Rivera for being silent accomplice. Consumed by righteous anger. He cast the middle finger of blame directly. There's no middle finger. Liberally and is by no means an easily relatable martyr. Though he proudly proclaims that his methods are nonviolent, his spittle-flecked bellowing is an assault all its own. But he's also right when he says that we need this kind of muckraking now more than ever. He is right. That's why I'm here. Still, it's not the group's rebellious spirit that makes them pariahs, but their out-and-out creepiness and tactlessness. The question the film accordingly tries to answer is whether or not it's possible to fully relate to the pain of such insistent political proselytizers strictly through shared pain. Ultimately, the answer is no. But Meyer and Neal put up a valiant fight and never sink to the level of pitying Jones and their buddies. Who is this guy? Pitying Jones and his buddies. Give me a break. The characterish red state mannerisms that many truthers exhibit are never exploited, but rather exhibited as just one of the many defining characteristics. Some of these people are born-again Christians, and some are gun-toting trailer park residents, but shock of all shocks, none of them are inarticulate, nor are they oblivious to the fact that they're a persona non grata. Refusing to paint Jones's cabal as the boogeymen they appear to be isn't necessarily a daring act, but considerably the insensitivity of the group's message. It's certainly a humane and affecting one. I guess not the worst review, but give me a break. All right, if we still got Jake in Kansas, you're on the line, sir. Yes, sir. What's Jason, on your mind?
Like everybody else says. You know, I spent 15 minutes trying to look for this phone number to call in. I really appreciate it if when I type in Jason Bermas on Google, that it goes to your site perfectly, first link. Well, maybe not the first. There's a lot of nasty stuff out there. But still, put an advert on your Infowarrior page that links to the forums that goes to your phone number.
Yeah, and we should have the 866 number up there.
I have a bad habit of keeping information on paper. I'm like an internet freak. So anyway, I was discussing contrails today. We were looking up, and I said, look at that. But they were absolutely normal. I watched that on Prison Planet TV. They have a video that discusses a normal one versus one that's not so normal, that's got the barium and the aluminum and all that other stuff in it.
Sure.
And I kind of told my friend, I was like, well, I really don't think they're doing it in Kansas as heavily. As much as they're doing, the outskirts of America, the border areas, and I really think that they're concentrating on metropolis areas. And I heard this thing about making it to where the heat stays in, and it causes an artificial heat temperature rise. And that
what they're saying for the geoengineering, what they're saying for the geoengineering is that they're going to shoot pollutants into the upper atmosphere to block the harmful sun rays. I mean, that's how the Obama
administration... Didn't you say that, or somebody say that NASA admitted that?
Yeah, no, that is the admitted NASA program, but the Obama administration just put it out last month, and then people picked up on it, and they tried to backtrack. But the bottom line is they're already doing it, and that was parroted in 90s and really a 2008 report from the CFR. So the administration really just goes through what these think tanks that they're members of. I mean, Obama says he's not a member of the CFR, but his wife is, and he speaks there. And of course, Rahm Emanuel is a member. And, these think tanks talk about geoengineering and shooting pollutants into the upper atmosphere because they're already doing it. They're just trying to acclimate the public to it. It's a real program. CaliforniaSkywatch.com has the best information. I thank you for the call, Jake. Let's jump to Bernie in Arizona. Bernie, you're on the line. Yes, sir.
Hey, what's up, Jason?
How you doing?
I'm all right. Actually, I'm from New York. They made a mistake.
Okay.
All right. Now, I was calling because I heard you talking earlier about the vaccinations and all that stuff. And I feel we do live in a society of people that are just drug their kids up for no apparent reason.
No, it's true. I've seen it even in my family. It's kind of disgusting. My aunt gave her kids Ritalin when they were, a teenager and preteens. And I was like, what are you doing? You don't understand. You don't know how it is. I'm like, what they need is some parenting. They don't need Ritalin. And, I still think that they're suffering the side effects to this day.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. But I had a family that my son's kind of hyper. He's a young kid. Whatever happened to just being hyper? My aunt's telling me that, maybe you should take him to the psychiatrist and put him on Social Security. I was like, I don't want to drug my kid just to get money. You know what I'm saying? That's bull.
Yeah, it's like kids aren't supposed to be kids anymore. They're just supposed to be docile zombies. A kid is supposed to have energy. A kid is supposed to have questions. A kid is supposed to have problems. A kid is supposed to challenge authority. A kid is going to get out of line. A kid is going to need parenting. I mean, these are realities. You shouldn't just dope your kid up because you don't want to be a parent or you think it's too hard. Oh, this will make my kid better. Really? Do you really believe that Ritalin or Prozac or any of that other crap is really going to help your kid? It's mind-boggling. I thank you for the call, Bernie. Let's go to Alfred in Texas. The call line is 866-582-9933. That's 866-582-9933. Go ahead, Alfred.
Yes, Jason. With the forced vaccinations and all, I know that the chips, they can also, those come in syringes as well. So that's kind of scary. But
well, let's hope that they're not going to chip vaccinate us. Although yesterday, if you were listening to the program, we reported on the smallest RFID chip ever, the Hitachi chip, and this is mote sized. It's literally like the size of a grain of salt or smaller. I mean, it's going to be embedded in paper, folks. It's mote sized. It's the new Hitachi RFID chip. And the Vera chip, by the way, is talking about receptors and sensors in your body so that they can see whether your body is going to be immune to a pandemic or what kind of antibodies it needs, what kind of drugs you're supposed to take. And on top of that, they've made